Hello, readers. Today is Friday, November 13th, 2020. This is Ms. Phillips bringing you your reading workshop lesson for today. We are going to connect new information to the known information or our background knowledge today. The materials you will need for today are your student copy of Icebergs. This is linked in the framework and also in Google Classroom today. Your reading journal and a pencil. If you don't have these supplies, go ahead and pause the video to collect them, then come back and press play. Okay, now that you're back and you've collected the materials that you need, let's go over our objectives. I will review how to connect information from a text that is new to background knowledge. We will recognize schema and new information within a text and how it may change what you thought you knew. And you will recognize new information in a text and connect it to your background knowledge while reading. I've got a great article to show you today. It's all about icebergs. Look at these amazing ice structures called icebergs on the top and bottom of this article. These icebergs look beautiful and mysterious. I'm always left with many questions whenever I see icebergs in media. They look to be huge frozen wastelands. I wonder if it's true. I'm hoping to learn more information about icebergs when I read this today. When good readers read, they think about what they already know about a topic and then keep their background knowledge in mind so they can make connections. Yesterday, we used a chart to help us organize our thinking into what we know and about a topic and what we learned while reading a topic. Take a look at this blank T-chart. Take a moment to copy down this anchor chart into the next blank space in your reading journal. We will need this today to complete the assignment. All right, now that you're back and you've made a copy of this anchor chart, I want you to write down a few things in your anchor chart. We are only going to be writing what we know because we haven't read anything yet. When I say go, I want you to take a moment to write down what you already know or think you know about icebergs in the first column, just 2 to 3 things. Go now. Okay, now that you're back, what did you come up with? Maybe you came up with a few of the same things I did. I bet you have a lot of great information written down. This will be really helpful as we read this article. When good readers read, they think about what they already know about a topic and they keep this background knowledge in mind. When we pay attention to what we already know and connect it to new information, we better understand what we read. Sometimes, though, our background knowledge is limited or even inaccurate. Reading is the best way to sort this out. Today, as I read this iceberg article, I'm going to think about what I already know about icebergs to help me understand new information. It is easier to make sense of new information when we think about our background knowledge. I have these 2 columns in the anchor chart here with what I know, or what I think I know, and what I learned. First, I'm going to jot down a few things I already know about icebergs on the what I think I know column, like you guys did a few moments ago. Then as I read and come across new information, I'll add that new learning to the what I learned column. The purpose of this anchor chart is to show how we connect what we already know to new information. The anchor chart also shows us our thinking can change as we learn new information. Sometimes we may even discover that the information we thought we knew can be a misconception. A misconception is something we thought we knew, but turns out to be not exactly accurate. Reading is a great place to sort out misconceptions. I'm going to jot down some things I already think I know about icebergs. I know that there are a lot of icebergs around the world in the frozen parts of the world. I also know that what we see above the surface of the water is actually one of the smallest parts of the iceberg. There's so much more below the surface. I'm going to write down both of these things in my anchor chart in the What I Think I Know column. I also want to add that icebergs are made from frozen salt water. Now I'm going to start thinking about what I'm learning as I read the article. Icebergs, giant blocks of ice that float in the sea, come in many shapes, sizes, and colors. Some are deep blue or green. Some look like floating sculptures. Old icebergs that have been worn down by the weather sometimes look like pillars of ice. How is an iceberg formed? Icebergs begin and end in the ocean. First, moisture from the ocean rises into the air and moves up into the Earth's atmosphere. Over Antarctica, where the air is cold, the water falls as snow. As layers of snow develop, their heavy weight presses down and turns the snow into ice in the frigid polar climate. Lots of ice. In fact, 90% of all the world's ice is on the continent of Antarctica. Huge areas of ice called ice sheets and glaciers move slowly across the continent towards the sea. The fastest moving Antarctic glacier moves about 1.25 miles in a year. When glaciers finally reach the coast, huge pieces split off into the ocean. These are called icebergs. Scientists call the splitting off of icebergs calving. Icebergs are a lot larger than a calf, though. Wow, that's interesting. I never knew that icebergs are actually huge pieces of frozen water that split off from glaciers into the ocean. The article also says that scientists call this splitting off calving. This is new information for me. Listen to the words that signal the new information for me. I never knew that. When I hear those words in my inner voice, I know I'm learning something new. So I'll write that down under the What I Learned in the second column. Icebergs are split off from glaciers, and it's called calving. I also think that icebergs are frozen salt water, so I'm going to keep reading and find out some more information. One of the largest Antarctic icebergs formed recently is 185 miles long and 25 miles wide. Usually, only about 1/5 of an iceberg appears above the surface of the water. The other 4/5 of the berg is hidden underwater, out of sight. Sometimes an iceberg has what is called a foot, an extension completely out of water. These are especially dangerous for ships. It was an iceberg foot that sank the Titanic in 1912, killing 1,530 people. Every year, thousands of new icebergs are formed in the ocean around Antarctica. If you're lucky, you'll get to see one someday. Did you know? Because icebergs come from land, not the sea, they are made of fresh water, not salt water. What? I need to read that again. Because icebergs come from land and not the sea, they are made of fresh water, not salt water. This is news to me. I'm amazed by this. It's very interesting. There's an example of a misconception that I've had. I thought that the icebergs were made from frozen salt water from the ocean. I thought that because they were floating in the salty ocean that they were formed when the waves of salty water built up over time in the ocean near freezing points of the Earth like Antarctica or the Arctic. Connecting our background knowledge to new information often helps us understand. But sometimes when that background information is inaccurate, we form a misconception. Reading this article has cleared up my misconception and gave me new insight into icebergs and how they're truly formed. I'm going to cross out that icebergs are made of frozen salt water and write what I learned in the column that icebergs are really made from frozen fresh water. I'll mark this one with a star since after reading it, I changed my thinking. Now it's your turn. You've already written down what you know into your chart. Go back and reread the article, Icebergs, Floating Snow Cones again. Pay close attention to your inner voice. When you find new information, write it down in the I learned column of your chart. Try to find at least 2 or 3 new pieces of information or more. If anything you learned changed your thinking, mark out your misconception and then write the new thing you learned in the I learned column. Make sure you put a star next to it. When you're finished reading the article and writing more information into your chart, turn it into your teacher.